Take a slow breath and let your body soften into this moment. You've been holding yourself together for so long that even the smallest pause feels unusual. Let your shoulders loosen even just a little. Let your jaw unclench. Allow your breath to fall into a gentle rhythm. There is no one watching you here. No one asking you to explain yourself. No one waiting for the right words. This is a space where you can simply exist without trying to fit into anything or anyone. Let yourself be here exactly as you are. Feeling misunderstood is a particular kind of loneliness. It's a loneliness that doesn't come from being alone, but from being surrounded by people who don't truly see you. You talk, but your words land differently than you intended. You try to open up, but something gets lost between your heart and their ears. You show pieces of yourself hoping to be met with understanding, yet all you receive is confusion, assumptions, or silence. And each time that happens, a small part of you pulls back. Not because you want to hide, but because you're tired of explaining your inner world to people who don't care to understand it. Take another breath, slow and gentle. The truth is that being misunderstood is exhausting. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your heart has depth, nuance, layers that not everyone has the capacity to meet. You feel things intensely. You process differently. You speak from places inside yourself that many people never visit within their own minds. When you try to express something meaningful and the response feels shallow, dismissive, or off-target, it hurts. Not because you need approval, but because you crave connection, real connection, the kind where you feel recognized. There are moments where you wonder if you're too much or not enough or somehow the wrong shape for the world around you. But pause here. Feel your breath moving through you. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are simply someone with depth living in a world that often schemes the surface. That difference can feel isolating, but it is not a flaw. It's a kind of internal wisdom that others sometimes overlook because they're afraid of looking inward themselves. Let your breath deepen. Feel the way your chest expands, the subtle warmth inside your ribs. When people misunderstand you, they're not rejecting your worth. They're revealing their limits. Not everyone has the emotional vocabulary to meet you where you are. Not everyone can hold space for feelings they've never explored themselves. Not everyone knows how to listen beneath the words. This isn't your fault. It isn't a sign that you're impossible to understand. It's simply a mismatch between your depth and their readiness. Imagine yourself standing in a quiet room. There is a window overlooking a wide, open landscape. This is the place inside you that longs to be seen. Now imagine someone approaching the window, but instead of looking out with you, they only glance at the glass, noticing their own reflection. That is what misunderstanding feels like. You open the window to show the vastness of who you are, but they only see themselves. That hurt you carry is not from inadequacy. It's from offering your truth to people who weren't prepared to receive it. Take another slow inhale. Let it settle your mind. You don't need to reshape yourself to be understood. You don't need to shrink your feelings, mute your thoughts, or dilute your truth just to fit someone else's capacity. You deserve people who lean in, not away. People who listen with curiosity instead of judgment. People who don't need you to simplify your heart for them to understand it. But there is another layer to this, one that matters deeply. Sometimes you misunderstand yourself. Sometimes you look at your own feelings through the lens of other people's reactions, and you start doubting your emotional clarity. When the world doesn't understand you, you begin questioning whether you understand yourself. This is where trust begins. Not with others, but with returning to your own voice. Take a breath and let that sink in. Your inner world is not too complicated. It is simply rich, layered, alive. Rest your hand on your chest again. Feel the heartbeat beneath your palm. That pulse is a language of its own. It has been speaking to you long before words existed. When you feel misunderstood, come back to this rhythm. It's the most honest reflection of who you are. Your heart has never mistaken your intentions. It has never misunderstood your feelings. It recognizes you completely, even when no one else does. Now imagine walking down a path where the air feels softer, where the noise of other people's expectations fades behind you. Along this path, there are quiet moments where you meet yourself again. Not the version shaped by misunderstanding, but the version shaped by truth. You see the sensitivity in your eyes, the courage in your choices, the depth in the way you feel. You realize that being misunderstood hasn't diminished you. It has refined you. It has taught you discernment. It has shown you what kind of connection you long for and what kind you no longer need to settle for. Take a deep breath. Let it steady you. The world doesn't need to understand you for your feelings to be valid. Your worth doesn't depend on recognition. Your depth is not a liability, it's a strength. And someday, the right people will meet you with understanding so natural, so immediate, that all the years of being misunderstood will make sense. They will feel like exhale after holding your breath for too long. As we close this space, return once more to your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. You don't need to hide. You don't need to change. You don't need to simplify your heart to be understood. Your people exist. Your connections will come. And until they do, this space will always be here for you. A place where your inner world is not too much, not too strange, not too complicated, but perfectly welcome.